What's up, YouTube? Y Scorpio back with another reaction. This time, I'm giving y'all a creepypasta. Y'all know y'all had it coming, so y'all know I had to hit up Mr. Creeps. For the first one, we have Mr. Creeps. I was trapped in my school during a storm. Something got in. Creepypasta uploaded April 17th, 2021. Now, usually, I only record videos in my dining room when I'm doing music reactions, but I'm listening, the audio from the video is coming from my speaker. So I decided to try that, and I have fans on, and I didn't want the audio to get distorted or anything. So I just came into the dining room. I have a little ceiling fan going on, but I mean that y'all can't hear that. At least I hope you can. So I decided to try listening from my tablet through the speaker. It's nice and loud. I already tested it, so I hope y'all like it. I hope y'all don't mind me, being in the dining room as opposed to my room, which is where I usually do all of my other reactions that are not music related. But I'm talking too much. Y'all already know all the important links will be down in the description, so without further ado, let's get into it.
Hack.
My bad.
The thunder outside my third-hour class was soothing. It was close to spring break, so we were just watching a Disney or a Pixar movie. I can't remember which company made it. It was Wall-E. Nobody was paying attention. Either sleeping or on their phones.
Pretty much.
Heck, even the teacher was on his phone. The rain began coming down harder. I was seated by the window, and all I was doing was watching the rain. April storms like this were common where I lived, so it was nothing out of the ordinary. The bell rang to let us out of third hour and go to lunch. In my school, you can go outside during lunch period if you don't have to eat. It can be cool when you just aren't hungry. Of course, like usual, there were some of those kids, you know the ones, that thought it would be funny to go outside and just get soaked.
Yeah.
I checked my phone while eating, so I didn't notice that they hadn't come back all lunch period. I got a weather alert on my phone that we were under a tornado watch. Looking outside, it seemed about right. When the bell rang, I tossed my tray and I headed to PE. The kids who had gone outside were supposed to be in that class. However, when the teacher did roll call, all three that had gone outside were absent. A couple of us were confused because we had just seen them. One kid spoke up to say that she had seen them go outside during lunchtime. The teacher sighed and pressed a button to talk to the office. "Hello?" A voice rang out over the speaker. "Yeah, are Ethan, Luke, and Nate inside? My students said that they were here just a couple of minutes ago." There was a silence over the intercom. We all stood around awkwardly, wondering when we were going to play Capture the Flag. The voice came back over the intercom again after a couple of seconds. "And you said they're not with you?" "No, they're not here." We heard the intercom hang up after that. The teacher assumed that the kids were running around in the halls, and that the office staff had to try and find them. We started to Capture the Flag, and it usually only takes about 2 rounds of the game before the bell rings and we have to go. However, the bell didn't ring. We ended up playing a third round before we realized something was wrong. Our attention snapped to the clock. which was 13 minutes after the class was supposed to end. Just as we were preparing to leave, the intercom rang out. Attention teachers, keep your students in class until further notice. My stomach sank. I was always a nervous kid. This made me nervous like many other things do. The teacher looked confused for a second, before switching the game to Martian Tag. We played for a while before getting tired. He conceded and put on a movie for us to watch, Space Jam.
Hey!
A couple of minutes in,
Hey!
we heard a blood-freezing shriek from outside the classroom.
Classic.
The teacher naturally got up to investigate, and all of us were staring at the door in fear, wondering what could have made that noise. A kid that I didn't know too well, Kai, snuck over to the door to look out of the small window. He stared for a couple of seconds before pushing the door open and leaving.
He next.
I had no idea what to do. But after 3 other students did the same, I freaked out. Everyone in the room was starting to wonder what was happening. So, we made our way to the door. All 14 of us left, and we peeked out the window. It was just the empty hallway. It was still raining outside, and it was getting unnaturally loud. Well, I'm going home, the kid said before pushing us out of the way and leaving the gym. I wanted to get out of there at that point too. Slowly everyone filed out of the gym and went off in different directions. All I had on me was my phone, but that was the only important thing I brought to school. I decided to just head straight for the exit, as did one other person, Max. He was annoying, but in a way that makes everyone happier. It's hard to explain. We didn't talk much as we rushed for the front exit. When we did make it, the office next to it was abandoned. Nobody was in sight, and the lights were off. We looked outside into the rain, and we weren't able to see anything at all. It was raining way too hard. I decided to wait until the rain had slowed down before I left. However, Max did not share this same line of thought. He opened the door and he walked into the rain. I checked my phone, and like you would expect, there was no service. I put it back into my pocket because I didn't have the password for the school Wi-Fi on me.
Man.
I didn't have any idea what to do while waiting for the rain to stop, so I wandered the hallway. When I got into the area that had the 6th grade classes, I saw someone dart into a room faster than I could believe. You know how your vision clouds when you see something extremely startling? I hesitated in the hall, wondering if it was just a scared kid or what. I slowly made my way over to the door that it went into. Like many classroom doors, it had the tall and narrow window with wires in it. I peeked into the window and saw a student crouched in a corner, sobbing. I slowly opened the door, and he immediately looked to the door. The fear on his face is still burned into my memory.
You playing.
He ran over to me and hugged me. Based on his size, I would assume that he was in 6th grade. After less than a second, he let go of me, realizing what he had done. I'm sorry. It's just that I don't know where anybody else is, and there's something scary in the halls, he said through tears, sniffling every couple of seconds. I felt sorrow while looking at him, I decided I would make sure that he got out of here as well. Listen to me. We're going to get out of this, all right? I'll protect you until the storm is over. He calmed down a bit and nodded. I looked around outside of the classroom, wondering what he meant by something scary. I thought maybe it was what made that horrible shriek that we had heard earlier. I led him out of the classroom, and I wandered the halls once again.
You about to find out what he was talking
The
about.
silence was deafening.
I bet.
I started to panic, wondering what had happened to the rest of the students.
Do you really want to know?
As I rounded a corner, I saw what I'm sure the kid was referring to when he had mentioned something scary. I quickly ducked back, holding my breath. The kid, who had told me that he was a junior, was hiding behind me. I heard the footsteps of whatever it was that was in the hall. It was opening doors and looking inside. It was in the 7th grade hallway at the moment. As it opened a door, I heard someone scream, and then that hideous shriek that the monster made. I had ducked behind the corner too fast to have gotten a good look at it. The scream, coming from the poor person in that room, was quickly silenced. After which, the scream was replaced by the sound of meaty crunching.
Oh, God.
The hallway that I was in had a window to the outside. The rain had definitely slowed down, but I wasn't going to risk what was in the rain. I went back the other way. But I forgot to mention, but at this point, the power was off in the school, and the light inside was dim in well-windowed areas. If there weren't any windows, then it was pretty much pitch black. I rounded another corner and I found myself staring down a black hallway. Under any other circumstances, I would have avoided it. But I heard the monster a ways back, and it was getting closer. I slowly made my way down the hallway. I grabbed the hand of Junior as to not lose where he was. I managed to find an unlocked door, and I made my way in to try and hide from the monster. When I entered, I felt a book slam into my head.
A book?
What the heck? I couldn't see anything in the room, and when I responded, I heard someone gasp in the darkness. They apologized. I had a headache from it. I reached over to the doorknob to try and find a way to lock it. Luckily, there was a small lock that prevented the doorknob from being turned. I was sure that the monster had heard me yell. My suspicions were confirmed when it slammed against the door, eliciting a scream from Junior. The monster tried the doorknob, but when it didn't open, it started to get violent. It was trying to break down the door. At this point, I accepted my inevitable death. But then an idea popped into my head. Some of the classrooms have a closet that lead into another classroom.
Right.
And I didn't want to turn on my flashlight so that the monster didn't know where we were going. I asked the kid if there was a closet in his room, to which I got no reply. There must be, I thought, because I realized that the kid was no longer in here. I stumbled around in the darkness, shaking from fear. I had to keep going through, for Junior at the very least. I managed to find the closet and I slipped in. I made my way to the next classroom as the door from the previous one was destroyed. I heard it shatter. I realized my mistake, and I rushed over to the window in this classroom. I had no choice but to brave what was out in the rain. I tossed a book at the window, hoping to break it, but it hopelessly bounced off. I made a rash decision and I tried my hardest to punch out the window. It cracked. I tossed another punch, pushing through the pane, and the window broke. The glass deeply lacerated my hand. I hopped out, cutting my legs. As I turned around to grab Junior, the monster broke its way into the room. Junior reached out to me, but the monster was faster. I got a good look at it as it dragged Junior away. It was a massive mass of flesh, eyes, mouth, and hair. I grabbed Junior and it left the room.
That's nasty.
I went numb. The screams that Junior let out as it took him haunt my dreams to this day. I tried to figure out where I was outside as the rain slowed to a drizzle.
It's about to have its way with
I was
him.
in the parking lot where there had to be a dozen police
I'm
cars
sorry,
and
that's fucked up.
ambulances
My
waiting.
bad.
EMTs ran over to me when they saw me.
Oh shit.
From that point to the hospital, it was all a blur. My parents, police, government agents. I got asked questions from everybody that knew about what happened. In the end, I got no answers. All I knew was that 112 people were missing.
Damn.
I never knew what came of the monster, or what happened to the people who disappeared in the rain. I left the town soon after,
I bet.
and now I live in southern Indiana.
Hey,
That was all 4 years ago. I recently graduated high school, and I tried to find out if the event was recorded online in some way or another. I couldn't find anything about it. No obituaries, nothing. Any time that it rains now, I always get scared. My only hope is that whatever the monster was, it didn't escape.
and it doesn't come back. Hell no. I have a dark sense of humor, so my bad. But when he said that the monster grabbed Junior and drug him off, like it was funny. My bad. Like I said, my sense of humor can be dark at times, and I'm just like, man, that monster drug him away and had his way with him, and then it probably devoured him. Pause. Afterwards, that's fucked up. Oh shit. You know what, man? During the whole course of this story, I was waiting to start hearing sound effects. Like when he said meat and bones being crunched or crushed and stuff like that. Like I expected to hear like, you know, the sound effect for it. Like, and that really would have got me. Like that probably would have gave me goosebumps. But surprisingly, he didn't do it. I was really looking forward to it because that would have made it all the more creepy. But it was still good. My question is, it seems like 112 people went missing, right? It seems like Junior, I'm not gonna say he gave himself up so you could save yourself, but it kind of seems like that. At the same time, it's really not, because when the monster broke into the room that y'all were in while you were trying to break the window, he was desperately reaching out to you to like grab him so you can hoist him up and take him out the window with you. But the monster snatched his ass up and, I don't know, took him into a dark room and clapped his cheeks or ate him or both. Oh man. Bro, I'm so glad that Creepypastas was one of the tiebreakers in that poll that I uploaded, because just like True Scary Stories, man, I started my channel out with Creepypastas too. Like, man, some of my most popular and most viewed videos are Creepypastas. So it's like, again, getting back to the roots of where the channel all started at, the True Scary Stories and the Creepypastas. And I had to, man. 'Cause this video, I had to drop it, bro. Like, Mr. Creeps had to be my reintroduction into doing Creepypastas again. He had to. He a legend, man. He up there with Creepypasta Jr., Creepypasta, Mr. Creepypasta. Who else? Man, I know I'm missing. King Spook. Like, those are my 5 main Creepypasta guys. Like, yeah, man. What did y'all think of this story, though? I wish it was longer, man. That was a really, really good, story, man. It was really thought out, constructed well. It had the ambiance in the background. All it needed to be perfect is if it would have had sound effects. If it would have had sound effects, this video would have been fucking perfect. But it was still dope. I enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comment section what y'all think. Man, I hope y'all drop a like, a comment, share the video, join the crew, because we always recruiting. And make sure that that bell icon is tapped so you will get notified every time I drop new content. That's all I got for y'all this time around. Man, be blessed, be safe, be smooth. I'm out.